So let's take a few deeper breaths. Let's oxygenate the body, start the breath a bit longer, a bit deeper. We'll do just a couple openings like we did the other day. And we can start with the upper part of the body this time. And just come to one side, and again, either the hand or down to the elbow, leaning to the side, and the other arm comes around, stretching open. Shoulder stays released, so you're not pushing the shoulder up and tightening. Keep the shoulder released, open, allow for movement. And we breathe. Maybe you see the elbow could go a bit more back. Don't force it though. And feel that extension to the side at the ribs and down the hip and down the leg. And come to the other side and doing the same. And we breathe and let the breath go a bit deeper to the bottom of the torso. Fingertips extending of the one hand. And feeling that extension coming into the feeling in the body from the arm and torso, hips, leg. And coming to the other side, you can use your hand to help if you need. And again, we repeat. So one hand comes to one side or down to the elbow, however you can. If it's easier, if you have a tall pillow, maybe you want to go off the pillow. And you breathe, let it extend. Allow for some movement. And we come to the other side. And extend to the other side again. Really fill the body. So we're doing some openings. Extending through. Allow for movement. Shoulder released. And coming back to the center. You find the center, maybe the body feels different after these exercises. Sunk to the ground. You find the spine, allow for some oscillation in the spine, maybe a bit forward, back, some waves. Listening into the body. Let's take a moment there, let's stay with the breath. And then we want to find the lower dantian. And turn to one side, so you come 45 degrees. Feel that twist. So we were listening into the spine. And you find the twist 45. Feel the whole of the spine, like from the tailbone to the crown into that twist. Crown suspended like you're hanging like a marionette. So there's that upwardness from that string connected up. Chin comes back a bit. And then we turn again to the other side from the lower dantian area. Feel every part of the movement, every change as we turn to the side again. Crown suspended, chin comes back a bit. Feeling the spine, that kind of subtle twist that just happened or that is happening. From the tailbone to the crown. And coming back again to the other side, so we come the same. Turning. And this time we dive forward, like with the chest towards the knee, 45, coming down. Again, you can be on the pillow or off the pillow, however you are most comfortable. And then we come down, diving down, down to the earth until as low as you are comfortable with. And then we come up through the tailbone, through the spine, so feeling the whole of the spine as we come up, unravel through the neck. Make sure that you leave the head last so you get a bit of a neck stretch as you come up. And we can follow the breath. So exhale going down and inhale going up. But if you want to go slower at any time or pause a bit in one of the parts where you want to feel into it more, do that. It can be subtle if you're not able to go down much. Just subtle waves of the spine is fine too, Just waving the spine. It can be even quite straight up and just waving the spine. So whatever your body is capable of. So it's not about being incredibly flexible. We want to just move the spine, open it, and come back up, unraveling it, feeling every vertebra, waking up the spine, bringing mobility to it. And if you synchronize with the breath, it can be easier to really absorb into the body and also get the breath to be a bit longer. Shoulders are released, make sure they don't tense up. And coming back to the center. Finding the spine, feeling maybe one side feels different than the other side. And again, coming to the opposite side. And diving down. Once you found alignment and that twist, you can dive down with the chest, coming down. And if you want, you can synchronize with the breath. Out breath, down, in breath, up. So you come up from the tailbone through every vertebra, through the spine, leaving the head hanging. So you get a bit of a stretch in the neck. Shoulders released. make sure you're not going on automatic as you rise. Every vertebra, like every part of the spine being felt. Even if you don't feel some parts. You just go there anyway, listening through. And coming back up and coming to the center. And it's almost like you remember the movement through the body. Left we did, right we did. How does it feel in the spine? And then we just start to dive forward. Same, chest forward, coming forward. As you're comfortable, you can come very low or just a bit. And again, we make these waves. You can let it be like a flow. And follow, exhale down, inhale up. Slow down where you need. Pause where you need. Just make sure that you're really absorbed into listening to the sensation of it, to the flow of it. So you're diving forward, and then make sure the tailbone like kind of sinks, and you start to curve there from the lower part of the spine and up. Leave the head last. Let's do it one last time, so one last good round. Fully with it, as best as you can. Then coming up, crown suspended as you come up. Whenever you're up again, connecting to the whole spine around it, noticing for sensation, for space. And again, listening to the spine, tailbone to crown. It's like the tailbone point and the crown are like the fixed points. Of course, they can move a bit, it's fine, but from those two fixed points, we draw circles from the center of it. So you find a point in the center of the spine and draw circles with that. So that side comes to the side. It can be small circles or bigger circles. Then that point comes forward, coming around. So we'll bring movement to the spine. You can imagine a bit like the crown and the spine are the fixed points, and then there's this kind of circling around from those fixed points at the center point of the spine. And breathe, let the breath be nice and long, as smooth as we can. So you let it fill the lungs and empty the lungs. Don't force it though. But through the movement, maybe it can go a bit more around. Shoulders released. Again, when we're doing something, we tend to tense up the shoulders. So we're learning how to do that a bit less. And make sure that you feel the whole spine, also the bottom part, lower back. So we're making curve in the spine to the different sides, left, forward, right, back. And let's change directions. So, other direction, circle. And coming to the center. And then feeling the spine, allowing for some movement forward, back, left, right. And then we let the head come to one side, so the ear comes towards the shoulder. And you let it sink there a bit. Feeling the side of the neck starting to release, so you don't push the head towards the shoulder, you just let it sink. Letting go of holding and tension, and maybe it starts to go a bit lower. Can look a bit down, a bit up. And then we look down towards the ground on the side. Maybe looking slightly behind you as you look to the floor. And then slowly up to the ceiling. Still sinking to the side. See, where can you look while you're still released with the head to the side? So still like a neck stretch to the side, but you're looking up. And then down again, and we start circling down. So coming down, chin towards the chest gradually. And very slowly crossing the front. So we'll come to the other side, but you can take your time. Go gently. Neck can be quite a sensitive area. And we come to the side. Whenever you get there, we do the same. Ear sinking towards the shoulder. So we start where we're looking forward. In front of us, ear towards the shoulder. And you let it release there. Don't push it. Let it gradually kind of sink through gravity. Yeah, opening the neck will also help release the shoulders. Allow for a bit of movement. So a little bit looking up and down slightly while still sinking to the side. And then turning towards the earth, so looking to the floor and maybe behind us a bit. So still the head is released, so you have that stretch to the side of the neck. Again, be carrying to the neck. If you have neck pain, go. Don't push it. Yeah. And then we look up, so slowly turning up, look into the ceiling. Keep breathing. Finding that extension as we look up through the neck and maybe down the shoulder, arm, maybe down the torso, leg, hip. Crown kind of suspended as you release, so you still have that connection, that extension through the body, making space from the inside. And then you can come down again, coming to look to the ground and circle around. And now I'd suggest we circle around as we like. Just feel your body, feel your neck and what it needs and where to slow down. Just go gently, especially when you go to the back. So when you go to the back, maybe just come close to the back, don't overextend. It's particularly for people that have pain. You want to just be mindful there. Go slowly, go close, but not too much pushing into anything. If you feel you can just smoothly pass through, go ahead. So turn as you feel, pause when you need. Keep breathing. And coming back towards the center. So these kind of openings, I found that when done very mindfully with the right quality of mind and slowly like this, they can open the body really fast. So let's extend our legs just 5 minutes and then we'll sit. So extend as you need. If you want, you can open both legs, or if you want only one at a time, just as you need, just to open up a bit the legs. We won't go into the whole lower part of the body, it takes too long. But just let yourself stretch as you need. Yeah, you may want to go off the pillow for this. It's usually more comfortable. Keep breathing. And coming back into sitting position. So we feel our body and the leftovers, maybe of the stretches, of the exercises. Maybe the spine is a bit more mobile, maybe not. The neck, the legs, feet. And I hope you can make yourself comfortable in the sitting. As I mentioned on the first day, but a couple of you I think weren't there. If you feel like you need to move the leg, maybe wait some seconds or a minute or half a minute, whatever, before lifting the foot. So it's not done as an automatic reaction to discomfort. So we stay there mindfully, allow for a little bit, and then as an act of care and carefully we can just lift the legs, take a break maybe, then change the position. And also when we lift the legs, we can still continue following in the instructions, or anyway, staying with what's there. It's just continuing the meditation process, but in a different position. That's why it's okay to sit on a chair if needed. So we find our posture, which can help with staying more attentive and awake. We have the crown suspended up, chin comes back a bit in a relaxed way, shoulders are sunk in relation to that point at the top of the head. Find a comfortable seat so that we can really release into that as we can. And find the lower back, the area where the tailbone is and the bottom of the spine. You can kind of let it release down and out. We have generally some tendency of tightness there, holding. And allow for movement at the hips, lower back, belly, qua. So they speak of the chest being sunk often. Make sure that you're not collapsing the chest and closing in. The chest is open. You find that openness and make sure that in that openness you're not tensing up. Or maybe you do. As you open, you tense up a bit. That's okay. Then you find it. Release. And then you let it sink down without it collapsing while keeping that openness. Looking for a balance of open and released. And we come into listening as our main task, as our main point of interest. Listening like a felt way of listening, listening through the body. So we come into the body, and the breath can always help us do that. You can choose the breath as an anchor, as something to come back to in the body. As the breath comes in and affects the body, you can let your mind go in too. And from the body we listen. You could try even listening from the neck down. Again, not to exclude the head. We will also include the head, but we're so used to being up here, in this kind of control tower. We have mistakenly put our sense of identity in thought, and we think there is this person talking inside of our head, but it's been proven that there is no actual separate identity located in the head. Ancient tradition speaks so, and neuroscience has found so too. Many of our senses are up in the head. We can see from there. The ears are there, taste there, smell there. There's the brain and its functions there. So it's an understandable misunderstanding. Come down. Include also the rest of the body. So from the head down through the torso, we have the arms, the hands, till the bottom of the body, we have the legs and the feet. And we continue this with like an investigation, listening with curiosity. And training to be comfortable with this, with an unknown space, with a space where we cannot grasp on something. So gradually we're familiarizing with being comfortable in this unknown space. Unknown for the thinking mind, but as we rest there we find that it's a very knowing space. It is aware. Maybe the egoic patterned mind cannot grasp there, but it is very awake. It is alive, it is filled with being. And since we are entering a day and a half of silence, let's give some time to listen to silence. And we may notice as we listen to silence, the silence is always there. It's silence that allows for sounds to arise and pass. So silence is not really an exclusion of sound. In fact, sound is bathed in silence. So we don't need the space to be quiet to find silence. So let's give some time to listen to that. So you can't hold on to silence. You can't make silence. You can't talk yourself into silence. It's more like you can just release into silence. Relax into silence. So it's not something you go out there to achieve. It's the underlying space. So all you have to do is just relax yourself into it. Just stop trying and struggling and fabricating, creating, making. So everything we meet, every thought, every sound can be a gateway or a pathway back to silence. So thought is no longer an issue, or sound is no longer an issue. They're an opportunity. And through them we can come to the underlying silence. So I'll ring the bell for the next 5 minutes, 5 or 10, let's see. And use the sound. I'll do it once a minute. And you can use the sound as an opportunity to find the silence that is holding it, that is allowing for it, that is impregnating it. So we use the sound as a reminder for our attention to go to somewhere, content, to the sound. And I like the sound of the bell because it doesn't have to pass through concept. So you just let the sound of the bell accompany you back to the silence that holds it, so to speak. And silence is all through the bell. But then attention can go into the sound and through it just relax back into silence. So there has to be a letting go through the sound. And you're not pushing away the sound. So through the sound you follow and relax into, sink into that silence that the sound is bathed in. And then as the sound quietens, you bathe in the silence too. When you find home in silence like that, then it doesn't matter what arises, what other sounds arises, whatever thoughts arises during. You have your base there, your home. And maybe you can rest in that homecoming throughout a number of bells. So in the moment we try to hold on to silence, we lost it. Then we're doing something, making some noise in a way. You have to just open the hands and relax back into silence. It's like there's no peace without allowing for struggle. You hold on to one, then you held on to the other. For today, during the meals, during the day, you can let life be your bell. When the birds sing, when at breakfast people make sounds with a spoon in their cups or bowls. And as best as we can, we just keep on sinking back into that space. It's like we're gradually rebuilding a remembrance to that space, to living more from there. And again, it doesn't mean rejecting anything. As silence is at the base of all. It's this empty, vast space that allows for everything to exist. And from it, I learned so much about love. It is love, in my experience. Enjoy the silence, enjoy the day, the breakfast, and let's help each other carry that remembrance as it does resonate with the ones we meet. Slowly, slowly, step by step. Thank you for practicing together.